systems, action plans, agendas, and rosters. In the previous lesson, you were introduced to components of sustainable frameworks, while this presentation covers in more detail what the products are to maintain sustainable systems. At the end of this lesson, you will know how to effectively use the following products: action plans, agendas, and team rosters. In the introduction of using action plans, agendas, and rosters, you learned about the PBIS framework implementation. The first step in creating a PBIS framework to improve school climate is to create sustainable systems. Systems are the structure around which policies, procedures, and practices are created, evaluated, and adapted for continued success and improvement. Once your team has been established and you've secured coaching support and run effective meetings, you can begin creating your permanent products to ensure sustainability. Action plans are useful because they give you a framework for thinking about how you'll complete a lesson, task, or project effectively. Action plans are a detailed list of tasks to be completed in order to achieve a goal, and teams should always action plan to drive the improvement of school climate. Action plans provide accountability and structure for accomplishing short-term, manageable steps designed to result in the attainment of long-term goals. Remember, short-term action plans can be accomplished in months, whereas long-term action guides the entire framework and establishes implementation goals for the following 3 to 5 years. Let's discuss the components of an action plan. This is an example of a long-term action plan. You will start by identifying an area your team would like to focus on, the core task to complete. Next, determine the goal to accomplish the task. It is important to identify a goal that helps focus on solutions. Then, make sure your goal date is attainable for your team. Also, make sure you note who is responsible for this particular task. And in the meeting agenda, you can document the steps to accomplish that goal. This is an example of a short-term action plan. You will start by identifying an area your team would like to focus on based on data. This shows the level of implementation. Then, name 2 to 3 steps your team can do to meet implementation and sustainability. These steps should be specific and attainable in a few weeks or months. Then you will identify the goal dates to accomplish the task. Identifying a goal date helps focus on solutions. Make sure your goal date is attainable. Once you meet your goal, pull the data back out and begin action planning process again. As we discussed earlier, creating an effective agenda is one of the most important elements for a productive meeting. The agenda typically communicates 1. Topics for discussion, 2. A time allotment for each topic, and 3. The person responsible for reporting or leading. Remember back to our previous lesson on our graphic on sustainable systems. Running effective meetings by utilizing meeting agendas keep your systems operating. Let's look at the details of effective meetings and meeting agendas now. We have already discussed the purpose of meetings is to solve problems and not admire them, and that there is a general procedure to all meetings. This diagram shows how to effectively solve a problem using data. Effective meetings core components. First, you need to establish clear purpose and authority for your meetings. Create efficient routines for your meetings. Define roles for each member of your team. The team needs to adopt a meeting agenda or create your own to fit your team's needs. And finally, adopt a team action plan. These are useful because they give you a framework for thinking about how you'll complete a lesson, task, or project efficiently. Meeting phases and procedures. The following slides will go into more detail about the specific procedures and phases of operating effective meetings, where the purpose is to solve problems through data-based decision making. Efficient routines. Before, you need to create an agenda with team member input and prepare data. During the meeting, team members need to participate, use your agenda and the minutes as a guide to problem solve versus problem admire, and also action plan as a team. After the meeting, it is important to document minutes and tasks. How many of you have attended a meeting where nothing got accomplished because one person was missing? The team was unable to proceed or make a decision because that one person didn't show up. We want to be able to walk into a meeting with no previous history, review previous meeting minutes, and be able to fit into any role needed. So with this is the meeting agenda and purpose. Before the meeting, defined agenda, clarify times, guides data. During, organize time allotment, ensures old problems are reviewed, make sure new problems are defined and have an actionable solution, assess effectiveness in meeting, afterwards provide record of review, and serve as task guide between meetings. Here you will see the general flow of an effective meeting. This is an example of your Tier 1 PBIS meeting agenda. Step 1. Call meeting to order. You will need to be updated in order to start the meeting. Who is present in the meeting? It is very important to document who attends and to make sure all meeting roles are filled. Also make sure attendance is taken in case a follow-up needs to occur. Step 2, review to-do list. This section is to review what the current to-do items are in their current status. No new business or task should be added here. However, it is the responsibility of the note taker to update any task. Step 3, discuss agenda items. Prior to your meeting, you will receive a drafted agenda to discuss new business. During the meeting, this section is where all the new business will go. Step 4, evaluate the meeting. Team evaluations are very important, and team members need to give honest feedback. This provides an opportunity for everyone's voices to be heard. If there is an issue, it needs to be solved before the meeting ends. Also, you must practice what we preach. This is a method of gathering data to track the progress of your meetings, so make sure everyone evaluates appropriately. As long as the agenda has the major components listed in this lesson, please feel free to adapt and modify the agenda according to your preference. Team roster. The team roster falls under the sustainable system of establishing a team that we will discuss in a following lesson. However, here we will discuss how to apply using this product. Team rosters are an important component when implementing these products. They can be used to organize your team members. Please feel free to modify and adapt your team roster to fit your school's preference. However, it is important to have the components of this product and making sure the roles are fulfilled, which are site facilitator, data analyst, note taker, timekeeper, and team meeting. And in the following lessons, you will learn the responsibility of each of those roles. For more information on any of these products, please feel free to search any of these resources. Thank you.